Today, in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topics. And today, our topic is role of youth in youth empowerment. But before that, I would like to inform you that today we are going to witness a unique thing, and that is called the Great Conjunction. The year 2020 will end with a special astronomical event, the closest great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn in 397 years. On December 21, the two planets will almost touch in the sky. The most recent great conjunction occurred on 31st May 2000, and the next will occur on 21st December 2020, that is today. Generally speaking, a conjunction is when two objects appear close to each other in the sky. A conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, which only happens about once every 20 years, is called a great conjunction. In the technical language of astronomers, there are a number of ways to define a conjunction. One way is to say it is the moment of minimum separation between two objects as viewed from the Earth. By this definition, the 2020 great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn will occur on December 21st. During the 2020 great conjunction, the two planets will be separated in the sky by a minimum of 6 arc minutes, the closest separation between the two planets since 1623. As Jupiter and Saturn will rendezvous just a few days before Christmas, forming what will look like a single bright object in the sky, the 2020 great conjunction is sometimes also called the Christmas star or Bethlehem star. In India, the conjunction is likely to be visible between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m. To see the great conjunction, look towards the southwest after sunset. Find a spot with unobstructed view of the sky, such as a field or park, said NASA. So if you want to witness this spectacular moment after the sunset, view, look towards the southwest and watch this memorable conjunction, great conjunction. Now coming to our main topic, that is the role of youth in youth empowerment. Youth voices matters because they are the only way to rectify the injustices that young people have suffered and continue to suffer due to being excluded in decision making. It is through these voices that they can become fully empowered to become leaders in their own right. Youth empowerment is a process where children and young people are encouraged to take charge of their lives. They do this by addressing their situation and then take action in order to improve their access to resource and transform their consciousness through their beliefs, values, and attitudes. Youth empowerment aims to improve quality of life. Youth empowerment is achieved through participation in youth empowerment programs. However, scholars argue that children's rights implementation should go beyond learning about formal rights and procedures to give birth to a concrete experience of rights. There are numerous models that youth empowerment programs use that help youth achieve empowerment. A variety of youth empowerment initiatives are underway around the world. These programs can be through non-profit organizations, government organizations, school or private organizations. Youth empowerment is different from youth development because development is centered on developing individuals, while empowerment is focused on creating greater community change relies on the development of individual capacity. Empowerment movements, including youth empowerment, originate, gain momentum, become viable, and become institutionalized. Youth empowerment is often addressed as a gateway to intergenerational equity, civic engagement, and democracy building. Activities may focus on youth-led media, youth rights, youth councils, youth actives, youth involvement in community decision-making, and other methods. Youth empowerment examines 6 interdependent dimensions: psychological, community, organizational, economic, social, and cultural. Youth empowerment programs are aimed at creating healthier and higher qualities of life for underprivileged or at-risk youth. Over the last 2 decades, quality of life, QOL, has emerged as an important unit of measurement to evaluate the success of empowerment programs. Youth empowerment programs thrive in positive developmental settings. Positive developmental settings promote youth competence, confidence, and connections. There are various types of empowerment programs across the globe that empower youth through many different tactics and programs. Programs can operate in a variety of settings. The majority of programs operate in more than one setting, which may be a key factor in their success. The beneficial outcomes to youth empowerment programs are improved social skills, improved behavior, increased academic achievement, increased self-esteem, and increased self-efficiency. Around the globe, there are various empowerment programs focused. One moment, somebody wants to enter again. Around the globe, there are various empowerment programs focused on a wide variety of things. When youth participate in established empowerment programs, they see a variety of benefits. The practices of youth involvement and empowerment become embedded with the organizational, cultural, and community culture. The United Nations also acknowledged that the energies of the youth need to be harnessed effectively in a productive manner. In India, too, we have the National Youth Policy that has been designed to effectively address the problems faced by our youth and the related solutions. This policy This policy expresses the vision the country has for our youth. It also identifies objectives and priorities areas that are addressed and considered extremely important by the government. The five objectives of the National Youth Policies are to create a great workforce that can work for the betterment of the country and can make a sustainable contribution for the country's development. The priority areas for this objective is education, entrepreneurship, employment, and skill development. To develop a strong and healthy generation that is equipped to take on future challenges, promotion of community service, civic engagement in all stages of governance, to support youth at risk and create equal opportunity for all disadvantaged and marginalized youth. Youth is responsible to build the nation, to make the society good and noble. Youth can improve the community and culture of society. In India, we need responsible youth. And to discuss this important topic, that is the role of youth in youth empowerment, we have 7, 8 youth with us. But first of all, I would like to invite my chief guest, and my chief guest of our program today is Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha. Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha is the civil services coach. He is the managing director of Discourse Academy, Delhi. He motivates and gives interview guidance to UPSC aspirants. He is visiting faculty of political science, general studies, and English language at different reputed institutes. He is doing talk shows for All India Radio, Akashwani, New Delhi. He is called upon by various media organizations to participate as an expert for their live shows on various national and international issues. He conducted and moderated several seminars, including National Seminar in the World Book Fair 2016, New Delhi, by National Book Trust, Government of India. He has published several books and written articles in reputed publications. He is co-author of India-Mauritius Bilateral Relationship Recent Initiative. Welcome, Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha on our show. Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha, today the topic is role of youth in youth empowerment. And you are dealing with youth. You are coaching them. You are giving them the inspiration, motivating them, and preparing them for the interview of the UPSC, the civil services exams. So we would like to know your views on role of youth in youth empowerment. Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha, please.
Yeah, good morning to everyone, and particularly Dr. Lal Goel Sahab. And I am seeing Mr. Syande, Manjuta AU, Eval Job, and it's Sri Syande Sahab, Sri Harsa. I welcome all of you to this show because Dr. Goel Sahab have been doing all times great, shows all the time. Today, the topic as youth empowerment. Yes, definitely. I have been talking, interacting, and doing a lot of works with the youth, particularly for civil services examination, what I feel that it's a very prestigious job among the budding youth of this country. That's very true. And as I have especially prepared a good note for all of you, that what do you mean by empowerment? If I say that the youth must be empowered, it means what? That the youth must have some skill. And there is a slight difference between the personal development and the empowerment. Suppose if I say, if you want to develop yourself, it means that you are an individual that you want to develop. But if I say that the youth must be developed, so it feels a kind of community feeling. Community feeling means any society who can have different strata, and if they can come together for a particular reason, for a particular cause, then it is known as empowerment. If someone wants to empower himself or herself, he or must should have a particular coordination. A lot of projects are running across the globe, whether it is in the USA or in other countries. They have a lot of programs and policies. What is very much difficult in our country, the people of this country or the youth particularly, I am saying that they are not focusing on a particular think that okay, if we are weak, we should not only concentrate to a particular thing that we want to do preparation for civil services examination or any technical examination that is there. But I must remember you that during our national movement, there were so many our leaders, particularly you the national leaders. They were not only studying the things, rather they were taking the participation. Take an example of Gandhi. Take an example of Subhash Chandra Bose. Take an example of Bal Gangadhar Tilak. When Tilak was there, he wanted to have a lot of like Ganesh Puja and lot of activities. He started one newspaper also in Mumbai and Maharashtra in Marathi language. I mean to say that today the biggest challenge for the youth is that you should also concentrate for the community mobilization. Here I have especially come for the kind of requesting all of you that just come for a community mobilization. Suppose a cultural mobilization is there, a political mobilization is there, economic mobilization. I mean, God has given a particular kinds of, particular kinds of trait in everyone's life. You have to just excel those things. You have to just polish those things. And accordingly, you have to create. Suppose I cite an example that why should not, we all together, today I am seeing that, five, six youth are there. We can start a book club, reading habit. Yesterday I was discussing one of the very renowned person that the today's youth are not focusing on reading habit. What is the problem? I mean that technology is there. There are a lot of books available in the market. But why you are not? Have you ever studied that the what are the challenges after 10 years? Have you studied that the what is artificial intelligence? All the economy is going to shift on artificial intelligence. If the youth are not empowered, if the youth are not skilled with the AI, that is known as artificial intelligence. I am sorry, most of the youth will be employed or unemployed. That's the point. That how you can have your kind of skill, and a skill can be attained through only good networking. Today, with the help of technology, we are sitting different parts of the country. I am very thankful to Honorable Goel Sahab that he has given this opportunity to interact all of you, because technology can be taken as a grace of the God, and through this technology we can have a kind of thing. I am blessed to have a meeting with the Honorable Nobel Laureate Kailash Satyarthi at Akashvani All India Radio in Delhi. He categorically said then when he was a student, he did have a lot of difficulties in our society. So according to that, he just started a kind of movement, not from only India, across the world. And even one girl from Pakistan, Malala, she was also the youngest Nobel laureate in this country. What is the point? The point is that like Fatima is there, so Fatima is there. A lot of can do the things in a positive way. That is the most important factor. That if you have a particular determination, if you know that okay, why should it is the tradition of the our culture, government is not doing anything. What is the government? Government has to maintain some law and order, foreign policy, other things. All things cannot do the government because the resources are very limited. The taxpayers are very limited. We have a lot of demographic dividend and demographic burden. So we have a lot of demographic burden. We are not demographic, dividend. So that is the point. What I am saying, I am requesting all of you that please read good books, because the idea comes through good books. When you read a book, it does mean that you are gaining some idea. What will happen after 10 years? Suppose under 30 years, or you have started your thinking around 14 or 15, what you will do after 10 years, what you will do after 5 years, the short term and the long term. You should have a particular goal, and that goal can be achieved with the mentorship, with the networking, with the good community feeling. We all are Indians, and a part of we all are human beings. So what we can do that we can have a great networking, and that networking can be easily accessible. One illusion is also Goel Saab in today's world that technology can do everything in this world. No man, sorry. Technology, if technology can do, if Google can do anything, then what is the need of recruitment? Then why UPSC is recruiting all time 1000 IS and IPS and IFS people? Why the companies are hiring the people? I mean to say that it is you, if the budding youth of this country can do miracle change. And the Skill India program is there. Governments have a lot of tremendous startup programs, startup stand-up programs are there. People are doing great things in this country. I am citing one example that a lot of people have quit their jobs and they started their own startup programs. What is the no panacea among them? That is the ignition point that and that is why Dr. Kalam in his book India, Wings of Fire, he had written one thing that we have a multi-talented youth. Youth should come together. Youth should have a lot of things can do that. And particularly, you have to pinpoint that what I can do. Should I go for a particular cause and not only concentrate on a particular study that, okay, I am an engineer, I am a doctor, I want to become an IAS. No, there are lots of IAS officers. This is what I have to share with all of you. One more thing I want to say that it is the knowledge throughout the human civilization, sir. It is the knowledge. Through knowledge only you can navigate. You can face the challenges across the world in personal life, in the social life. And empowerment, not only the cultural empowerment, you should have political empowerment. You should have economic. The economic empowerment, well, sir, is the major challenge among all the developing countries, whether it is the Asian countries or the African countries, because the youth are getting knowledge, youth are getting degrees, youth are getting everything, but they are not directly related to the economy. So after getting your particular skill, you should have a particular kinds of things so that you can have a better life, better understanding, and the personal feeling. And if you are filled with your job, with your everything, then definitely you have a lot of changes in across the world. And moreover, one more thing that I want to share with all my panelists, all my youth, and especially girl Fatima is there. So I mean that everyone should go for a good cause, good things, read good books, imbibe those things, and it is the books who gives you the birth. It is the books. When Mahatma Gandhi was in London, he visited a lot of libraries. He visited a lot of institutions. He visited even church, mosque, everywhere he wanted to go so that you can learn. So empirical study, empirical knowledge is all very much necessary. You should not only focus on a particular thing. And one more thing, the scientific temperament. I request all of you that you should come for a scientific temperament because India needs scientists across the. Israel is a very small country. Japan is a very small country. South Korea is a very small country. What is the secret of success behind them? The secret of success is that they are very much committed with their nationalistic values. They are very much committed. Within 40 years, and most of the Nobel laureates are coming from Israel. What is the point? Because they are very much focused on the work. So we should have a balance, like I call yesterday also the talent management, sir. Goel Sahab, we should have a talent management cell because India is a full of potential. The largest youth are in our country across the world. So we should have a talent management skill system so that we can take out the talent and we can polish them, we can nurture them. And I say you that I have very limited time because Goel Sahab have restricted me that you should have a 10 minutes only time. This is a book. I have written this book, India Mauritius Relation, and my author is High Commissioner of Mauritius. What he told, why I have quoted this, sir? Just you allow, sir. Can I speak 2 minutes, sir?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So, what I have to say is that Mr. Jagdishwar Govardhan, who is the High Commissioner of Mauritius, along with other countries, he is looking after 5 countries. He said the Mauritius was a very rural country in the 60s and 70s. It was the leadership. It was the youth who took the initiative, like the tourism was there, health tourism was there, a lot of things. And can you imagine that the through Mauritius, India is getting maximum FDI, and that is the beauty of a small country. That how a ruler country, how a ruler economy had changed from different means. It is not necessarily that you should have a industrial kinds of thing. It is not necessarily that you have a, whatever the best thing inside you or resources, I mean intellect resources or the natural resources, so that you can say. What I have to say that these all things you can do the things in a particular way, and I can assure you that a lot of books, even in my life, I am not no what I am doing. A lot of books I have come with these things, and I have written all these books for all of you, and these all books have written from my side. So what I have to say, just to ignite your mind and brain, that it is you who can take up this initiative. And once again, I request all of you that please be motivated and have good books with you, good health, and then take up forward. And whatever the things, I am ready to help. I am ready to help without taking any single penny. Let's come to us. Let's come through the rooted, because youth are not connecting. Do not go for only social things, Facebook and Twitter. I am not against it, but you have to pinpoint. It is the opportunity. The God has given the opportunity that the Goel Sahab has conducted. So you have to tap these opportunities that, okay, and I am ready to guide every student, every youth across the world, across the globe, so that our India would be developed. And whatever the best thing you have to just take out. And any question, any queries, as Goel sir will allow to us, then we'll speak. And then please you also tell me, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank,
Yes, sir.
thank you very much, Mr. Rakesh Jha, for
Sir, sir.
giving your very powerful motivational thoughts. And I'm sure that with your thoughts, these youth have definitely been enlightened. And what Mr. Rakesh Jha has emphasized, that there is a difference between development and the empowerment. And that's why, because if you are developed, you will be developing yourself an individual. But if you are empowered, you are going to give the benefit for the community. So basically, it's a community development, and that is only possible if the youths are empowered. And for that, he says the three things he has highlighted. One is that the reading the books, which have nowadays, because the youth, according to Mr. Jha, is busy basically in the social media. But he says if you use the social media properly, if you study, read the books. Earlier, the books you have to go to the libraries and this, but now if it is available on even on your social media, you must read the books. Try to increase your knowledge. Knowledge is the main thing, and knowledge will not gain by getting only one side thing. If you are doing whatsoever you are doing, try to have knowledge from all different angles. He has given the example of Mahatma Gandhi, ki when he visited UK, London, he wanted to watch or want to see, visit mosque, church, temples, whatnot, and libraries, because he want to see what is happening. And that is the reality. And he has also mentioned his experience with Mr. Kailash Satyarthi, who was the Nobel laureate of India, and the Malala of Pakistan, who has they worked for the youth. And that is what, until unless you people, the youth, will not come forward with a total determination, that if you are empowered, you can change the entire scenario and that entire world. And he has also mentioned about the freedom struggle, ki how the youth of that time, uh, Mahatma Gandhi, Subhash Chandra Bose, Bal Ganga Tilak, etc., how they have changed the country by using the empowerment, youth empowerment. And that is what required today in our youth. Thank you very much, Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha, for giving your such a motivational thoughts. And I'm sure our youths who are attending and who are viewing and who are going to watch it afterwards also I'm going to be benefited. And one more thing, what Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha said, he is ready, he's open to guide you all, anyone who are attending the program, or even you are not attending the program, you are free to contact him, If you want his number, you can contact either the Global TV or to me. We will be happy to share his number to you, and then you can contact him, talk to him, take the guidance, but it should be for the positiveness. We believe that if you all will be empowered, then definitely our country, which Mr. Rakesh Jha said, will definitely be the global leader. Thank you very much, Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha. Now I would like to invite my youth leader, but before that, I would like, because I think the youths are still going and coming, they're having the net problems. Be the change that you wish to see in the world, said Mahatma Gandhi. Now, my first youth guest is Mr. Abel Job. Mr. Abel Job is in third semester, School of Planning and Architecture, Bhopal. Mr. Abel Job, you have heard you have heard what Mr. Our chief guest, Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha, has spoken. Now, we would like to know from you the role of youth in youth empowerment. Mr. Abel Job, please.
Yeah. First of all, good morning to one and all. Thank you, Mr. Goel, sir, for giving me this opportunity to speak. And it's a pleasure to speak in the same platform as with Rakesh, sir. So, first of all, I would like to begin with a quote by Franklin D. Roosevelt that states that we cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future. We all know that youth of today are tomorrow's leaders, innovators, creators, and builders. India is one of the youngest nations in the world, with more than 50% of its total population belonging to the age of under 25 years. And this gives us a certain edge over other countries. But for the youth to be empowered, their needs must be met, like food, water, sanitation, and a place to stay are like basic necessities that we require. But what our country lacks is the fact that there is no equality in the case of education. And through education alone can a young generation reach to its actual potential. So I'm referring to an example for the ease of understanding. Okay, so consider a young mind, a boy or girl who just finishes schooling and wishes to go to a college. So he or she does not have enough financial background to aid his or her education. So he or she goes to a bank to get an educational loan, but the bank is not ready to roll its dice because of there is no collateral. So everyone cannot attain scholarships, right? This is a flaw that I see in the system. So there should be no collateral for educational loans for people who wishes for education but does not possess anything to pledge. The security should be solely based on professional courses and their caliber. So, and the caste system nowadays requires an update as well, because it should be based on income rather than race or culture. There are many people belonging to the highest of caste, but still their families struggle for a day's meal. India, being a democratic nation and the largest democracy in the world, lacks the resources to treat its future young equally. So the rise in population is kind of the major reason behind the lack of available opportunities, which leads to poverty, malnutrition, corruption, violence, and unemployment. So what I say is that alike minds can only understand each other. Hence, the young generation plays a major role towards uplifting each other belonging to the same generation. Young mindsets are innovative, which helps in the progress of our nation. And to say each generation has its own needs, and it takes a great amount of time to value, respect the different generations, their needs, their views, their ideologies, and much more. So, opportunity should be given to the youth to represent their ideas and the policies for the future of our nation. So, the only way through which ideas can be shared and policies to be amended is through politics itself. To be honest, the present leaders are trying their best to keep up with our needs, but needless to say, they are falling behind by miles. So we should take part in politics and try to occupy high positions in our governing bodies. And we are the majority. And when we stick together, we know what ends we go to achieve justice. So so does the governing body. So it's our responsibility now not to be pawns anymore and be knights and move in one direction, taking away all the hurdles and obstructions in our path and standing united for a noble cause. So by that we empower ourselves. and we process information day by day. So we are the future of the nation. So from now, we have to take actions, and violence is never an answer, but unity is. So if we pay the way for our upcoming generations, we can see the changes that could make India a superpower nation. And when I say superpower nation, I do not refer in terms of weapons or strength in army or nuclear warheads, but in terms of the most valuable asset in the whole world, and that is the youth.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Job. You have raised 2 points. First point you have raised about the population, and the second point you says the in the youth's role in the politics. See, as far as the population is concerned, if you say that because of the population, the corruption is there, the poverty is there, unemployment is there, so you can see the very live example next door to you is the China. China is having more population than us. Yes, up to 1980s, they were very having poverty, they were not developed. But today, see the China, they're the super most power in the world because of their youth, because the youth have empowered themselves. And the once the youth, as our chief guest has mentioned, empowered, the community empowered. The community empowered means the nation empowered. And that is why today, so why not we, you, the youth of India, why not why they just give the excuse about the population? They must see towards the China. Secondly, the population is in your hand, nobody else's hand. So if the youth will decide that no, we will not increase our population, so the population will not increase. So to give the excuse, take the excuse is not the right way. Secondly, you said about the politics. Although you have given the answer yourself, you said that we must participate more. Yes, unless youth will not participate, they will not come forward, then definitely the older generation is quite happy to rule the country and rule youth. So if you want to come, you all have to be united and come forward and rule the country, make policies which are beneficial not only for youth, for everyone, and thus for the country. Thank you very much, Mr. Job, for giving your views. Now I would like to move to my next youth guest. I will just see whether she has joined or she is there. Miss Fatima Muskan. Miss Fatima Muskan, you are there. Please unmute yourself. Miss Fatima Muskan is
Yes,
third
sir, I am.
Okay, Miss Fatima Muskan is third year BA student of Alwas College, Mood Bidri. Miss Fatima, you have heard of what our chief guest, Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha, and your earlier panelist has spoken. Now we would like to know from you the role of youth in youth empowerment. Miss Fatima Muskan, please.
Okay, good morning to everyone, and I am Fatima Muskan, as you guys know. I'd like to go more about the psychological aspects for youth empowerment. I would, because I have heard two people speaking, they've spoken a lot, and yeah, all the points are relevant. So now I'd like to put more light into the psychological aspects. I feel that actually, according to the surveys, we see that every year 8 lakh people die by suicide, and in that 1,35,000 people are from India, and that is the 17% of the total suicide rate, which also implies that India is the 17.3% of the whole population of the world. So you can imagine that so many people are committing suicide in India, and the major age group that is committing suicide is the youth from 15 to 35. They are the ones facing a lot of problems and they are committing suicide. But we need to know what are the reasons. The reasons: unemployment, reasons can be illiteracy, reason can be mental illness or abuse at home, sexual abuse, domestic violence, anything. So these are problems that are going unaddressed. So as a psychology student, I am a
I think we lost the connection of Miss Fatima Muskan. So we will come back to you, Miss Fatima. Once you will connect properly, I will take you in the last. Once we will go because we have to go to the next guest. And my next youth guest is Mr. Gracious D'Souza. He works in content, SEO, and design for Influence Cell Digi Labs, a performance marketing agency at Bengaluru. Mr. Gracious D'Souza, you have heard our chief guest, Mr. Rakesh.
Yep. I did.
Kumar Jha, you have heard the earlier panelist. Now you would like to know from you the role of youth in youth empowerment. Mr. Gracious D'Souza, please.
Yeah, so I completely agree with you, Goel, sir. Like you said, we've been making too many excuses, blaming the government, blaming, a lot of things where actually in the world of internet and world of information, I think opportunity is endless. And I think we all should agree on that one point of view. So what I feel is, but the youth has made massive strides over the past few years, because if you look at the workspace, for example, right now, like before, everyone used to go by experience. Someone who is 7 years of experience and then is much better than someone who has 5, and someone who has 5 is much better than someone who has 3. But I think that's completely changed like these days, because the ease of what it takes to learn a new skill now as compared to what our parents were going through. Now if you get a bunch of young kids into a room and give them a problem, they're going to come up with a solution straight up. And a lot of companies know this and they've recognized this, and that's why they've invested a lot in getting younger people into the company. It's no longer getting them in the form of training or exposure or stuff like that, but just to understand their perspective of things and make sure that they are contributing to the growth of the company as well. And it's not just a long-term goal, which shows that the youth has made massive strides over the years when it's come to, developing themselves. But one thing I think the youth still lacks is the fact that their ability to act on things. Like I think we have shown that we are capable of thinking, right? We're capable of thinking beyond our age, and we are also capable of solving problems our older generations haven't been able to. And that's why a lot of us have termed us as probably the smartest generation right now. And but I think we are also the laziest generation by far. So I think the reason is because we do not act upon the things we say, even though we say some of the smartest things. So I think if there's something the youth has to start doing, it's that. And I think that is the empowering part, is supporting each other in taking action rather than. And I think that's something we see in the arts field. So people who take up music and art, and when they take up those things, you see their peers supporting them, and you see like how they are also more empowered to come out and put themselves out on social media with a lot of music videos and stuff, which is actually a very, very difficult thing to do, to expose yourself to the world. But you can see it's possible because the peer group is supporting them. And similarly, I feel like in every other discipline, if this practice follows, if we support our peers, so what I can say is maybe that's what we should all be looking at. So let's say tomorrow my friend wants to start a business, and I can speak to him, and I know I should be ready not just to tell him it's a good idea, but in case he needs some help to start it, to help him. Or also like a week from now, if in case he hasn't started it, I should be able to text him and be like, hey, I see that you haven't started it. Why haven't you started it? So I think that's what the youth has to do. I think we have a lot of great ideas. We are responsible for some of the biggest movements in recent history. If you look at the LGBTQ, if you look at so many of the most successful movements, the climate change, Greta Thunberg, it's all the youth, which shows that the youth has made massive strides. But it is also true that it's not our full potential. Like we're capable of so much more. And instead of just, saying stuff and being like, okay, let's do this, these are the ideas I have, I think we should start acting on it. So, draft plans, start slow, get into the loop. And then as soon as that happens, I think there's much more potential for change. And I think the best way to assess this, or something that I follow, is every couple of months, I look at the progress I have made from 2 months before to 2 months after. And you see a particular amount of progress. And if you think about how you can accelerate that progress, what books can you read, what courses can you do, what skills can you learn, maybe it could be as simple as waking up 1 more hour early in the morning. So when you assess these changes and you carry it forward, and you grow as yourself and you help the other peers around you grow, I think there's going to be much more development than. So I think where the youth right now is lacking is in terms of action and not in terms of ideation. So I think if we can empower each other in terms of action, I think that would be a great move. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Gracious D'Souza, for giving your views. But you have made one point, and you says that the youth is having lots of ideas, and that's why the if you give any problem, they can solve. Everything is very good, but then tell me, Mr. Gracious D'Souza, why the unemployed meant rate is increasing day by day? Why so many youths are unemployed in India? Because the reason is very clear, that you have the youth have the ideas, youth wants to do, but they always classified the work. They consider few things. They consider that work is good, I will only do that work, I will not do that work. So once you start choosing your work and you will be classifying that this work is not meant for you, then definitely the unemployment will be there. Because if you initially, as our chief guest has mentioned, that you have to learn everything. If a youth feel ki no, this work, even if he is not if he is not been he is interested to become a painter, but if he sees that today he is not getting that chance, if he is getting a chance to do some clerical work, he says no, this is not suitable for me. Or if a youth is unemployed and if he has to drive a auto rickshaw or a car or a cab, he says no, this is not, I am not going to do. That's the reason in India the unemployment is increasing. You see other countries, their youth, they are qualified doctors, they are qualified engineers, they are working, but they are also driving the cab, they are also working somewhere in the bar, they are also working in a petrol pump. I am talking of youth. They are studying in whichever field, but they want to. That is the spirit from them from the young age. They want to be self-dependent, the self-respect, the self-esteem, what they have, which is not there. I take the blame on our older generation that we pamper the youth. We say, oh, no, 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 this is not of your age. Don't, why you are doing it? It's your age of enjoy, read and this thing. But the fault lies with us, but the youth should realize they should not be pampered by the family. They must start thinking of earning themselves by doing any work. Then never consider that this work is below the dignity. The day you will start doing all those works, the day there will be no unemployment. And that is what India requires. Thank you very much, Mr. Gracious D'Souza,
Thank you, Mr. Goel.
for your views. Now, I would like to move to my next guest, and he is Mr. Manjunath AU. Mr. Manjunath AU is the Manager Projects, Selco Solar, Bangalore. Mr. Manjunath, you have heard the chief guest and your earlier panelist. Now, we would like to know from you the role of youth in youth empowerment. Mr. Manjunath AU, please.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Goel, sir, for the opportunity. See, for all the panelists, like as an individual, what I say is like what Rakesh sir is said is like it is not about the individual; it is about the community development need to be started. But what I feel is like first we need to develop, then only we can develop someone or some the community. See, even when I see from my college days when I started my career, I've seen lot of ups and downs. So we need to start thinking about what we are doing, what it is actually needed for me. I'm learning something from this job or this particular task, or what I've learned in the college is it okay, or what are the differentiation we are having in the career field. So this is the main point. Like we need to think like each task, what we have assigned, is it any giving worthful, and is it what will be there for the 10 years. So that is one point. The other thing is like, moreover, we should focus on better than yesterday. So fine, we do mistakes. So we do some achievements. So youth, in the sense, we have enormous energy. We just think the ideas. We need to put it in the. But as Gracious said, we have the ideas, but it need to be nurtured, or it will be come to a conclusion. We just do a draft copy for the proposal or for any other thing, but it needs to be, completed by our seniors. See, moreover, my seniors, what they say is like, okay, they just pinch it off, like, so these are the points you need to just change it off and this project will be done. So these are the things we need from our elders. And moreover, like what recently Goel sir said is like, so whatever the job we do, of course we should be proud of that, whatever the job we are doing. See, because like we need to be independent, and we need to think, oh, this is right, this is wrong. So, and we'll be in our own life, accountant, travel agent, everything will be in our life, because no one wants to come and do for us. So in that scenario, we need to think each and every step what we are doing, what is that actually particular point we need to think of. So this is how we gonna develop individually. If we develop individually, so we'll definitely come up with a plan and we'll solve all the community problems. See, moreover, like when youth are in the project or in any job role, so they want to change the ring. See, if the older generation is taking a lot of time, and we need to shorten the time so that the valued time can be utilized. So this is the main motto of our youth. So and we can easily solve all the problems. So this is my point, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Manjunath. And Mr. Manjunath, you have made a point about the development and the empowerment. And you say that first we should develop ourselves, then only we will be able to develop the community. Yes, you are right, but you have to understand there is a very fine thin line of the difference between development and empowerment. Development means when you are totally self-centered or selfish. You are thinking about yourself only. Suppose you are studying and you are thinking about you. But if you know that one of your classmates is weak in a particular subject and which you know better, if you just give half an hour, 1 hour time and guide that, that is called empowerment. Empowerment doesn't mean that you are not going to be developed. You are developing yourself, but try to do something for others. Like you only mentioned about that seniors were guiding. Why seniors were guiding? That is the community. That is the empowerment. Like you are working in an organization today, there might be many who are not having that much experience or knowledge like you. So if you will give them some guidance, that is empowerment. But if you will think, no, I learned this is for me, I want my own promotions, why should I tell this to someone else? It will not. So what chief guest has mentioned is that whatsoever you will give, like he has mentioned, although his main business is he's running an academy. Now, running an academy means he's charging fees for training. But what he says, he is welcoming all the youth to get any guidance, because he feels if he is guiding somebody and if that person is benefited, he is not going to lose anything. So that is the only difference between the individual development and the community development is required, but it has to be with a social angle also. Okay, I'm sure that this is our difference. Thank you very much, Mr. Manjunath, for giving your views. Now, I would like to invite my next youth guest, and he's Mr. Saket R. Mr. Saket R, are you there? I will just see whether he's there or not. One moment,
Yeah.
please.
Is it audible, sir?
But you are not, we can't see you. Mr. Saket, are you there? Yes, now we can see you. You have joined with two devices, Mr. Saket.
Yes, sir. So
and you are speaking from one, and it's not possible, na?
Yeah, I will just turn on the video on the other because there was a problem with the audio.
See, it is not possible to have you in both these things, na? Because it's a live telecast.
Yes.
And you can be shown only one. So please remove which one which is visible. You are there right now. The other one.
I think now it must be fine, sir.
Yes, it is fine. So I am removing you from the other device. Otherwise, it will be disturbing this thing. That is what the youth empowerment is required. You must learn all these things. This is your thing, not us. Anyway, now we are coming to this thing, Mr. Saket. Yes, Mr. Saket is currently a CFA pursuant at Bengaluru. He is co-founder of Optionable FinTech LLP. Yes, Mr. Saket, you have heard what our chief guest and your earlier panelist has spoken. Now, we would like to know from you the role of youth in youth empowerment. Mr. Saket, please.
Yes, sir. First of all, I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity. As one of the panelists earlier mentioned, so I would like to bring another quote from Franklin D. Roosevelt itself. So he rightly mentions that we cannot always build a future for the youth, but we can build youth for the futures. So I am going to talk about the role of youth in finance industry and how it has changed over the years. So like if we see traditionally before, maybe if we go 1 or 2 decades earlier, we see the concept of finance was completely different in minds of people. So anybody who was working or anybody who had an employment considered investing in stocks as a gamble. But now the thing has changed. So now they consider a stock as an avenue for wealth building. So now no one wants to have their investments in banks, so they don't want to make FD or keep their savings bank account running, but they want to invest and they want to make the money grow. And this perception has changed over the years, and I would like to relate this to as a contribution of youth itself, because we are seeing many startups and many entrepreneurs young who are trying to spread financial literacy. So we can see after Zerodha came into existence. So when Zerodha came into existence, the founders were around 27, 28 years old. And back then, the participation of youth in Indian stock market was really low. And post which, Zerodha was a technologically oriented company. And we saw many account openings happen after Zerodha came into picture. And recently, after the lockdown, over 100 million accounts were opened in India, out of which more than around 60 million accounts were of youth, that is ranging from 24 to 35 years old. So we see a paradigm shift happening from people who are now earning. They actually want to have their money invested and they want to make the money grow. And it's not just that, we are also seeing many startups working on spreading financial literacy. And we also recently got a web series, Scam 1992, post which the financial awareness or the need of investing in stock market has spread all around. And we do see that ourselves, because after the series, we have got many inquiries at Optionables where many people were interested to open the accounts and they want to start investing. So we definitely see a shift, and we believe that it's not just in the field of finance. You see any industry, let's say we take technology industry, many of the innovations came from youth. So when you see Microsoft or when you see Google, all those were started when all the founders were at their youth. So we believe, so I personally and we at our organization believe that, so the next generation always wants to live better than the current generation. So that's why they will always try to be more innovative. They will try to work harder so they get to live better than the previous generation. And that's how we improve. And that's the reason youth is really, really important in empowering the future.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Saket. But you mentioned about the innovations and all those things. Can you give me some examples of Indian youths about the innovation?
Yes, sir. So one disruption was in payment system by Paytm. So even when Vijay Shekhar Sharma was in his youth, that's when Paytm was started, and we see a complete shift from digital payments, from cash payments to digital payment. So that is one way, and then you see many startups coming. The Flipkart changed the entire way people shop in India from that is Sachin
Okay,
Bansal.
Mr. Saket, now I would like to stop you here.
Yeah.
You know, the Paytm has copied the system from a other country's leading company.
Yes, sir.
It was
So
not an innovation. It was nothing, a new thing which they have started of their own. They have copied the PayPal.
Yes, sir. So PayPal was also by Elon Musk, who was again a youth.
No, that's true. The thing is, when we are talking of innovation of youth, empowerment of youth in India, we must come out with something new. Yes, we have invented our own Indian, Mr. Sabir Bhatia invented the Hotmail, but ultimately it was sold. You have mentioned about Flipkart. Now Flipkart is also not with Indian company. Now, all these things are, so the idea of the empowerment is that youths of India should be empowered in such a way that they will be coming out with their unique new ideas, following the idea. Like we are talking on Zoom today. Any other platform equivalent to Zoom we have, which has been invented by Indians? Or you see how many Nobel Prize our youths or Indians have got. Those who are getting the Nobel Prize, they might be the Indian born, but now they are not even more Indian because they have taken the citizenship. So the difference here is that youth should apply their own mind, innovative mind. What you are saying is right. Yes, we are changing, but we have to work hard. We should do research. How much research is going on in India, that we have to see, not the copy paste. We have to apply mind. We have to think what others are thinking, why not we can think, how to think or what to think. There is a difference. Although new education policies is coming, but the youth You people have to take a decision. After all, older generation was not having all these facility. No electricity, very electricity, limited electricity, no telephones even at that time. Then telephones came, no mobile phones, no internet, no such type of medical facilities. So all these things have come up. You are blessed. And I'm sure the new next gen of you also means whatsoever your generation, the next generation which is going to come will be more blessed with more tech savvy. But it doesn't mean that you will say
True.
you are, everyone is innovative. After all, IIT, IIMs were constructed before you.
True.
That's why you have learned all those things. Now, what you people have come out? How many? Because our chief guest has mentioned about the artificial intelligence, AI.
True.
How many centers this generation has developed? That is what we want to know. The other day, I have a program of reimagining marketing, in which one of the panelists mentioned, Dr. Joshan, and he was talking from Singapore. He's a foreign national, and he mentioned this AI which is coming now, which is going to be the totally game changer. They says at the airport you will not find any inquiry booth. All robots will be sitting and they will be giving all the replies. In hospitals, along with the doctor, right now, initially, otherwise in future, the doctors are not required. You have to go there, the artificial intelligence will check up and will tell you what is the disease, and they will give the diagnosis and the medicines. Everything will be done by AI. Then what is going to happen to the youth? It means youth have to be one step ahead of all these technologies. What our chief guest has mentioned about the technology, that technology is not the everything. Yes, you have to be ahead. If you will not ahead, if you will become parasite of the technology, then the technology will rule. But if you will make the technology for your use, then you will all be empowered. That is the reason. Thank you very much, Mr. Saket, for giving you such
Thank you, sir.
nice views about the financial things.
Yeah.
Now I would like to go to our next guest, youth guest, and he is Mr. Swain Day. Mr. Day is, Mr. Day, he is associated with Indo-Gulf Marketing Association, and he is right now based at Kolkata. Mr. Day, you have heard our chief guest,
Yes,
Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha, and you have heard all your earlier panelists. Now we would like to know from you the role of youth in youth empowerment. Mr. Day, please.
thank you, sir. Very good morning to all. So we have seen that the youths are always full of energy and creativity. And as my earlier colleague said, that a huge part of the Indian population consists of these young minds. Imagine the impact they can bring upon the society in the future if they're given the proper direction and the proper guidance. But I feel that there's always something stopping them. People at this age have dreams, but they rarely take shape. The reasons can be manifold, and I think this creates a need for empowerment. People say that the youth are at the heart of the nation, but nobody listens to them, and that is the irony. Sometimes it's the societal norms, sometimes it's their own parents imposing their own decisions on them, and sometimes it's just financial aspects getting in the way. At this age, they also develop this need for the societal belongingness. Like they want to belong to the society among their friends and this. But they are not given this freedom of making decisions. They are not given the freedom of making life choices. They are suppressed. All they want to do is just live their dream and grow, and without any constant pulling them back. So a large part of the Indian youth population lack the financial resources to aid themselves. Like many researchers have proved that the underprivileged youths are more hardworking than the privileged youths. So given them the proper financial support, they can do wonders. Coming to the another important point that I would like to emphasize on today is the empowerment of these young women who come from these areas which are below the where they are pretty underprivileged, and here the parents like force them to get married at a very young age in spite of their continuous objections. These women want to grow, they want to study, they want to excel in their lives, But in spite of the of saying so again and again, they are ignored. They should be given the right to make their own decisions. It's their life. So I believe that spreading social awareness and educating the underprivileged is another part of the responsibility of this youth. This age group is full of energy, and their impact on the society can be massive. Only if their minds are in the right place. All they need is some guidance, and maybe in the but that should not be imposed on them. It should be in the form of an advice. But the liberty of making decisions should be theirs. I Businesses across the world have associations which help each other grow. And I think that probably the youths can also form some associations which will probably be the temples of creativity, positivity, and research. These associations can be mentored by people who have excelled in their lives. Probably even the government can set up some policies to support them, help them function, in fact finance them for these their new ideas. They can work on persisting problems of the society and come up with ideas which were not even thought of. They can help these young women from these backward areas to come out of the barriers that they were facing for so long. They can give them a voice to speak. So such associations can in fact boost the economy. It can give these young minds the opportunity to become entrepreneurs. It would help them transform their dreams into a reality. And I think this is the major role of the youth in empowerment of the youth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Day, for giving your views. And you have raised two very important points. First point is you say that the social, the underprivileged youth, the underprivileged society. My point is only this: why you are depending, or the youths are depending on the government or on the older generation. When the sati pratha or the child marriage, these two were there, who has removed those? They were youth. Raja Ram Mohan Roy and all those. Why? There was no association, no government. Government was there. It was youth movement. If you will start thinking that this is happening today, what action the youths are taking today? Why they are? See, government has formed a law that no child marriage will take place, but still the child marriages are taking place in India. That even the after the widows are being burned, even still a few instances are there. Although stopped this thing, dowry is there. Why the youth? Who is taking dowry? If who is getting married? Not the older generation, the young generation. The dowry is coming in that. If youth say no, I don't want a dowry at all, otherwise I will not marry, then only the dowry can stop. No law can be able to stop. So who is responsible? The youth is responsible. So please don't shift the responsibility of your youth to the older generation. Older generation has done their work. They are expecting so much, fine. But if you say, no, I don't want a single penny from on my marriage, if anybody will say, or the girl will say, if you will pay 1 rupee in a dowry, I will not marry, then the change will come. You don't require any association. You don't require any government support in this. This is called empowerment. That is one point. And second point you have raised about the financial things. You wanted that the finance. That again depends on the youth. Only thing is you have to change your mindset. You have to work. You should have the self. Tell me one thing, why the same youth of India who is going abroad, they are ready to work everywhere. You might be knowing, you are dealing with the multinational association where Gulf and Indo-Gulf association. So you know what is happening around the world. So when they are ready to work there on a petrol pump or driving a cab or working in a restaurant, a pub, earning money, and they are studying, why they cannot start this thing in India? Then there will be no problem. The only problem is because the youth also feel themselves, we are privileged. My father or my mother or my parents are having this position in the society. We should not do something. Although the parents will not like this, but youth has to change. Subhash Chandra Bose was a youth when he decided to come out and form the Azad Hind Fauj. He was not guided by seniors or the government or this thing. Why not you? Why not this youth? Take a decision. Yes, we have to do. And that is called empowerment. Thank you very much, Mr. J, for giving your views. Now I would like to move to the next guest. And next guest is Mr. I will just see whether he's there or not. Mr. No, I can't have Mr. Mr. Sri Harsha, are you there? No, he's not there. Fatima, are you there now? Fatima, please unmute and please switch on your video if you are there. Please switch on your video, Fatima.
Yes, sir. I am there. Actually, there's a lot of
No. So if
and
your
as soon
video,
as I start my video,
no, so
I
the,
disconnect.
yeah, because the range, your network is not there. If you still have 5 minutes, if you can go somewhere else and try to connect yourself, then I can give you a chance again, because it's a live telecast. Without your video, we cannot take you. Okay, so please try another 5 minutes. I am now going back to my our chief guest, Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha. Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha, you have listened the views, very good views, brilliant views, I must say, the bubbling views and their energy, with full of energy, and definitely new ideas what they are saying. But one thing is common in among all them: they still want some guidance. They want someone to guide them. Although they have ideas, they want to do it, but they still want that someone should guide them. They require the policy makers to make a policy. Unfortunately, in India, the policy makers are all belongs to older generation. And I am repeating this in this show also, which I tell in every show. In India, the first parliament, the youths below 45 years of age were 26% MPs. And today, in this present parliament, it is only 12%. Who to blame? Although 65% population of India is below 45 years, we are the youngest country in the world. So fault lies with you. You want to elect, because it's a democracy. If you want to elect your MP or MLA more than 65 or 70 or 80 years old, that's you. You are the voters, not the older generation. So don't blame the older generation. Blame yourself. Blame means just go inside, see yourself. Introspection is required. Then only you will be able to empower yourself. Because if the policy maker is making a policy, they are making the policy keeping their views, their school of thought, what they have learned in their time. Not that, because how I know what is artificial intelligence, what is AI? I don't know, but you people knows. So this is only possible if you can change it. So what I am saying, Mr. Jha, I'm just seeing if she has come back again. Otherwise, I am coming to you. Fatima, if you are there, please switch on your video. If you have come, switch on your video now. No, Fatima, we can't see you. So anyway, so Mr. Jha,
Yes, sir.
what do you think? How this youth, they are there, they are ready to work, they are ready to change, they are ready to make our country global leader, but still they require the guidance from their generation, older generation, whom they say feel that they are curbing their rights, they are not allowing them to do the works. Many times they say, what is your view and how the youth can empower? Your concluding remarks about all these things, Mr. Jha. Take your own time, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. You know that after listening all the youth, I am very much, enlightened and very much, excited to share a lot of things, but time is very
No,
constrained
I am giving you
also.
time because right now this two of the panelists have lost the
Sir,
connection,
sir,
so you have time, so you can speak.
sir,
I will tell you when to stop, so you can stop. Otherwise, you are free to speak
sir, sir,
because we want your guidance for these youth, so they will be enlightened more. Yes, please.
sir. So point is that that don't ask what the country has done for you yourself. You ask yourself that what you have done for the sake of country. First thing. Second thing, any action without thought is meaningless, and without thought, any action is futile. So you should have a particular kinds of correlation between the action and thought also. And more important thing also, that this is a pen. I am showing this pen to everyone because I have fond of many pens, because pen is very mightier than any sword. I mean to say that if you have a good pen, and pen is the tongue of mind, you can create a lot of things for the coming generations also. And as I am seeing that one Sayan De Sahab, he is Mr. Manna De, I can remember him also. So Bengal is the soil of a lot of people, a lot of great leaders like Raja Ram Mohan Rai. He started Brahm Samaj. Subhash Chandra Bose, he started like Hind, like
Ayad Info.
INA in the post. So that was a kind of, it is the role of youth empowerment. The Bengal was the leading force of against the British almighty rule. What was that? It was because of their intellect power. They had started the things and they paved the way, and that's why it was the capital city in up to 1912. Kolkata was the capital city. I mean to say that it is the youth who can take up the ideas, as Goel Sahab has said, that artificial intelligence. I have written, I have just gone through one book that it is written by one American. In this book, it is written that cloud computing. Cloud computing, it is also related to a kind of artificial intelligence. All the economy will change. What does it mean? That if our youth are not empowered with the great informations, then definitely unemployment will be generated automatically. And why in the United States of America or in the UK or most of the European countries, they are blessed to have their empowerment. They are have their own empowerment. They have their own kinds of employment generation. But as it is lacking behind, if you go to the rural India, they all are dependent on the governments. Government is not doing this, government is not doing that. But as compared to other countries, if you go to Canada, if you go to other countries, they have a lot of kinds of things. Even UNO has started. I mean to say, what is the lacking behind that? It is the brainchild of their all kinds of things. Before independence also, they were at the driving seat. The Americans, Britishers, they were at the driving seats, particularly the Britishers. But what is lacking behind that? Even after getting the independence after the Second World War, most of the developing countries, they were dependent technologically and economically on their own. And that is why even in today's era, even in 21st century, all the developing countries are dependent on them, particularly on the technology. Now the economy has totally changed. Why? Because from agriculture to the industrial, and after this industrial, it has been taken shape with the IT sector. So you should have to concentrate on all these things. And particularly, I have to also say that don't ask the problems, because we all are humans. We have a lot of problems. We have a lot of dimensions. Psychological problem, as Fatima was saying, yes, definitely that is there. Every society, either it is in our society or in the Western society, they have the problems. They have a lot of problems. I mean to say, once again, I want to motivate all the youth. Do not count the problems. Every morning you pray to the God that, hey God, why you have created for me? What is the best inside me? And read the good personalities' life. I mean to say, the people who have reached up to the level, Abraham Lincoln, Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. Kalam, Barack Obama. You have to read those things, that in spite of the problems, constant, how they became at the top. And today's youth are very impatient. I have to say that, okay, you have 5 problems, you have 10 solutions. Today's youths are to become a star overnight. You have to change your role model. Who are your role model? I don't watch any, I mean politics and the glamour world, just stop watching them, because this is not the role model. I mean to say that you have to create your own role model if you want to become that. Okay, if you want to become something, Kalam had not become the president over a day, over a night. Rome was not built in a day. So he had given 60 years up to that level. I mean to say that you have to give the time, and for creating any space in this world, you have to give 10 years, 20 years. You have to be impatient or patient so that you can attain that success. I was studying somewhere regarding the ex-US President Barack Obama. It was his grandfather. He started thinking about his life. He just started and linking all these things, and he went to US and became the topmost, post. I mean to say, this is what youth has to also understand. Nothing can be achievable within a day. So you have to just list the best thing inside you, that the 5 or 4 things are the best thing that I can do for the. And empowerment means, don't ask that you have achieved something, you have become XYZ, then there is no worth of anything. Everyone is running after his life. And then what is the role of any society? What is the role of values? In the United States of America, the technocrats are being given, the giving please is a concept, Goel sir. Giving please. Suppose anyone comes to our house, I mean to say any downtrodden person, we give some offer sweets, we give some money to them, we give some alms to them. Why? Because it is a giving please. So giving please should not be taken as, I mean, that you should have a kinds of emotion. The emotions means what? That, oh, what is happening with our fellow citizen? Oh, what is happening with our nation? Oh, what is happening? Why we cannot create? The ignition comes from the need and from the passion, from the things that, okay, in our society, a lot of problems are happening. Who can do these things? I am citing one example. One Mr. Nurani is there. Mr. Nurani was a very simple, humble person. He was refused by a doctor that since this door is closed, I am running after my time. I cannot treat your, son. He taken the vow and oath, and now, right now, he is a non-medical professional and running 7 hospitals across the India. This is what a kinds of ignition. When I came to this Delhi, I did not have a lot of understanding of the world, but I started learning every day. I am learning from Goel Sahab also, that, oh my God, how much energy he is having every day. 10:30 he starts, rather 10:15. I was discussing to one of my friends that he is such a, you have to learn from Goel Sahab, that Goel Sahab is doing tremendous job. He is inviting a lot of people across from different backgrounds. So this is a kind of motivation. This is a kind of ignition that all the time he is putting up behind and all these things. So this is the thing. And do not blame anything. Do not blame. Dear friends, don't blame. It is you to take the good things. Remember good memories of your life. The last 10 years, the last 5 years, don't count the problems 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Shastri had become the Prime Minister of India. How? Kalam, how? Obama, how? Steve Jobs, how? Swami Vivekanand, how? Swami Vivekanand fell there and he was not having food. He was begging there, please give me some food. And then he started talking, dear sisters and brothers, what is this? So please count the good things inside you, that, hey God, give me good things and I want to do first of my, as Manjunathan saying, yes, definitely Manjunathan, first of all, you have to empower. If I am not empowered, if I am not developed, if I am not skilled, I cannot do anything. But definitely 10% charity we must do. It is written also in our all religious holy, whether it is Quran, whether it is Gita and everywhere.
Mr. Jha, please be brief now.
Yeah. So patiently and very, emotionally, I am saying life is a very limited, sir. Life is very limited, and we have 3 dimensions, that the childhood, younghood, and oldhood. That is the very simple terms. And now it is the time the youth come forward for the things, as Mr. Goel have said a lot of things. I am very much thankful to all the panelists, Manjunathan ji especially, Sayan Day, and Mr. Abel Job. He is also has said a lot of things, and Gracious D'Souza. All people are feeling. And one more request before winding up the things, that please start a kinds of a kinds of like group, a kinds of things to the, whether it is WhatsApp or any kinds of group, so that we can exchange the ideas, any things in the future. And once again, thank you very much. But before winding up, one slogan I have to say, that one thing that you love the things, what is your passion, you will be definitely at the top. And one thing before winding up, that जग में जब तू आया था, जग में जब तू आया था, जग हंसा था, तू बसर कर अपनी ऐसी जिंदगी, तू बसर कर अपनी ऐसी जिंदगी, जग रोए तू हंसता जा. This is from core of my heart. That जब कलाम साहब का डेथ हुआ, तो he was delivering a speech in northeast one state. This is what, whatever you love, anything you love, you do the work, and every obstacle will go out. Thank you very much. All the best. And for all of you, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jha. Once again, your motivational thoughts, I will must say. Now, I think we can see Fatima there. Fatima Muskan, please unmute yourself and continue your talk. Now you have 3 minutes left only. Please. Yes,
Yeah,
go ahead.
sure. I am sorry for what happened then. Yeah. Okay, so I was talking about the psychological aspects of youth empowerment. So for me, I think that this generation, it has a lot of problems. It has a lot of mental problems, to be precise. People are depressed, people are lonely, people don't want to mingle with people. But yeah, we are totally active on social media. So that's something we hide ourselves with. So for me, what I see around in India is that mental health is not given a good status. It still has a lot of stigma around it. So first of all, we need to clear it. We need to be we have to make it clear that yes, if we have a problem, if we have some mental problem, we can discuss it with people. We need counselors, we need clinicians, we need a lot of people who can help us go through it. So as I said in the beginning, the suicide rate in India is 17% of the whole world. So we see that a lot of youth, the age gap, age from 15 to 35, are the ones who are committing suicide a lot in India. Why are they committing suicide? It's either unemployment, it's illiteracy, it's most of the time mental problems, and they think that, okay, I can't solve this problem, so I have to give up on my life. Prior, it did not happen, because then we had joint families. We had people around us who would take care of us, who would talk to us, and we would open up with them. But now we live in a nuclear family where our parents go out to work and we are here sitting alone, and we feel that maybe we should keep it to ourselves. We should not talk to others. And this is where the problem arises. We stop talking. We start disconnecting to people. So that's why I want to through this platform, I want to ask people to talk a lot. Please express your problem. It's not a stigma. You're not weak if you have a mental problem. Please do talk to people. And after this, I want to cite some examples on how youth are getting empowered. So in the beginning, Mr. Rakesh just said that youth are using a lot of social media, but it should be used.
Be brief.
Yeah, sir. Sure. Just 3 examples, very short examples. Okay. Okay, so Rakesh just said that social media is being used a lot by the youth, so they are not being empowered, but it should be used in an advantageous way. So I'll give some examples of how people are using social media advantageously. If we
No, I think we have.
Youth influencers on social media, they are a lot. They are earning a lot. So employment issues solved there. And we see that people are using clothes, selling the t-shirts, all those stuff. Yeah, people are solving their issue on legs. We should not depend on our family. We should not depend on our older ones to be empowered. We should do it ourselves. So before that, I'll end with one example. I heard a woman named Sanjana Buddhi. She was talking about how she helped the Indians while she was staying in New Jersey. So she came to India once and visited schools, and she saw that they did not have enough books to write, to study. So then she went to New Jersey. She found an organization known as Pure Youth. And all the youngsters, they came up and they went on asking for donations for people in India. So you can see that even after not staying in India, she's doing something for the people of India. She was a citizen of India, so she tried doing it. So with her example, she has helped a lot of people. A lot of dining halls has been made, canteens have been made, libraries, like sir asked, we need to study a lot, we need to read a lot of books. Yes, Even that was established.
Okay,
So, yeah,
thank you very
that's all
much,
I have to
Ms.
say.
Fatima Muskan, for giving your views. So today you have seen how the youth are so vibrant, with full of ideas, and they are ready to do the youth development. They are doing it, but they require some guidance. We, the civil society, must come forward, give them proper guidance, see to it that youth should not be misguided and they should be guided properly. If we just give some guidance to them, definitely Indian youth can also show what they are quoting right now, the other youths of the other countries. Tomorrow, the other country youth should quote our youths, that the Indian youths have done so much things for us. Thank you very much for giving your views. And today's program, which has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day a new and current topic. And tomorrow, media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. The topic tomorrow is, just a minute, I will tell you the topic. The topic is labor, problems and solutions. And our guests are Mr. S. Bhumrao, Chairman, Contract Labor Welfare Advisory Board, Government of India, Mr. Premchand P., Management Consultant, Kochi, Mr. Deepak Vishnathan, Consultant, Habitat for Humanity International and TCIS, Mumbai, and Mr. Anil Kumar Ji, Managing Director, Action Rich Business Solutions India Private Limited, as well as he's Executive Director of BNI. So please tune in tomorrow for media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha, being the chief guest and giving your motivational views. And thank you all our youth leaders, I must say, in your field. Please keep it up. You are the future. You are the present. You are not the past, but present and future. And I'm sure if you are there, we need not to worry. But yes, civil society, we all, the elder generation, should come forward